Get yourself another fool. Kennedy Brown. Many have the impression that having a college dorm mate would be nothing but fun, like a sleepover with your besties that lasts for 4 years, or being back home sharing dreams with your sister of what the two of you are planning for their future, simply a great era. However, there are times when fate deals you a hand and the administration tells you who is going to be your roommate, simply because you both came from the same town. She is a freshman, and away from home for the first time, and is the total opposite of your character. Whereas Sonata is a quiet and reserved girl with minimal people skills, low self-esteem and a marijuana habit, which is calming until the effects wear off and you begin to feel a strong sense of being not only an outcast but the punchline to your older roommate who is beautiful, smart and golden girl. To your girl interrupted. It takes less than 1 week for these two to clash, over everything from whose side of the room is whose, to one letting their boyfriend crash anytime he feels like coming over, to snitching each other out to campus police over marijuana fumes wafting into the other's clothing. Sonata, the misfit freshman, has taken all she can and will take from the popular, yet mean girl/roommate Adelle. And the results will have a very unexpected tragedy. Teenage Sonata. Sonata. Inner City Blues. Aunt Tammy and my cousin Marcy were waiting downstairs with my bestie Ashley. Today is the day I leave for college in Charleston, South Carolina. At 17, I had never been away from my Aunt Tammy's house ever since she adopted me at age 5 after my mom, who was Aunt Tammy's younger sister, died in a house fire. At the hands of my sperm donor dad, Davin Pearson, for insurance money. He almost got away with it, but when you are spending beyond what people thought you had, for instance a pregnant side chick who already has one love child by you, and as many men do, they are so sprung on what they feel is their upgrade he could no longer afford to splurge on her since he was fired from his government job. Yet his wife is bringing in 6 figures, takes your name off her bank account. You do what you gotta do. In Davin's mind, if my mom was no longer willing to support him, meaning he would no longer be able to support his side chick. The messed up thing was the fact, as my dad, he was selfish and had no fatherly instincts towards me, yet he took my mother from me. And the horrifying this is the fact, he thought I was home that night, but 6 hours before her death, mommy had been sleeping but woke up suddenly. Nada, dial your Aunt Tammy and hand me the phone. Then go pack your overnight bag. It's Saturday, so get 2 school outfits too. You are gonna stay with your auntie for a few days. I couldn't dial it fast enough. I loved my Aunt Tammy and her daughter Marcy, who was just 3 years older than me. But I learned later on that she had been getting a series of phone calls warning her that she was gonna meet an untimely end, but she felt it was bogus. She was not gonna fear the damn Reaper. At least not for herself. But after 2 previous miscarriages, she was not gonna laugh anything off that put me in harm's way. So, her maternal instincts kicked in, therefore saving my life, which meant the world to her. But only to find out she lost hers for a $50,000 payout of insurance money to the only man she ever loved, besides my grandpa and her 2 brothers, all for the affections of an around-the-way girl, who runs through the money in a year and a half, and would report to the police that she thinks he had something to do with his wife's murder, pretending to have heard him planning the murder. Yet now, only putting 2 and 2 together, both my maternal and paternal grandparents got permission to have the body exhumed. She died from 3rd-degree burn and smoke inhalation. So thankfully there would be enough to do an X-ray autopsy without removing her body from the casket. 2 days later, side chick and Rena was arrested as an accomplice. Had there been an autopsy performed when mommy first died, they would have been locked the both of them up then. After all, Rena knew my mom's neck was broken, and that there were rope burns around mommy's neck, a failed attempt to hang her after breaking her neck. When that didn't cover the murder, they decided to burn the house down. As for me, Rena stated that Davin quoted, "At least the baby is sleeping. The smoke will doze her off deeper. She won't feel any pain." She later stated that he had been overheard telling his boy, Rico, this. But as soon as she was arrested, my paternal grandparents showed up to collect the baby since Rena had been arrested. However, it turns out someone had beat them to it. The kid's real dad. I spent weekends and holidays with them and knew they wanted me to live with them, but I chose to stay where my mom directed me before she died. The last time I saw Davin was the first time I saw my grandpa, Davin's dad, arrested for the first time. After the guilty verdict of 35 to life was handed down, Davin had 20 minutes to say his words to his family. When he got to his dad, his own father, Steve Pearson, spit directly into his son's face. Unfazed, Davin sheds a tear to approach his dad again, only to be punched so hard by my grandpa it knocked him smooth out. Guards ran up, medics ran up. Which was good. But when 2 guards ran up on Grandpa, it got real. This is my stupid-ass murderous son. So I whip his ass whenever I feel like it. You are a damn disgrace, boy. Get yo ass up and get knocked down again. Tony and Rachel lost their child. Tony, Rachel. Man, I apologize. Nada. Baby. You wanna piss on this fool right quick? My grandma Sherry was comforting my grandma Rachel, while Grandpa Tony tried to calm Grandpa Steve down. Man. This ain't yo fault. None cough this. And as much as I wanted to bring in my .38, I can't let you beat your son and catch a charge. Grandpa calmed down, until he saw Davin being lifted to his feet. Before anyone could see it coming, my grandpa did a karate jump, kick landing Davin back down, then stomping 4 ribs broken. Grandpa Tony was arrested and spent no more than an hour in booking. No charges were filed because the judge had heard all about my mommy's death and felt Grandpa was real. To beat your son over harming his our wife and endangering his own child. Judge Carol Burris applauded my grandpa and threw the case where it should have been thrown out. Gal. Come on. It's almost 7 a.m. Nobody got up to wait on you. I am proud of you for real. But get the molasses out ya ass. Move it. I laughed before yelling down. Here I come, Aunt Tammy. My cousin Marcy, who is now married and mom of 2, came up to me. Sonata, I am gonna miss your aggravating behind, but so proud of you, and I know Aunt Niecy is looking down crying tears of joy. I don't know. She was cut off mid-sentence. My next bestie Lachey walked up spoke. I don't even know why you trying to leave for college. Hell, you can go to community college and stay home. Aunt Tammy was about to get into the car yet stopped and turned to Lachey. I thought all these years that you were not his best friend? Lachey in her Chris Tucker voice. And you know this man? Nah. See, friends are always there with encouragement. You are the around-the-way girl who only gets dates vicariously through your friends, and your diploma variously through Sonata. Instead of being positive, you coming off hella negative. Ashley laughed. I intervened. Come on y'all, let's not start. I want to get to school before my new roommate, an upperclassman who graduated from Greer 3 years ago, Adelle Fuller. As we drove out of the driveway, Marcy said. I remember Adele, very sweet, equally sarcastic. Just mind your own and stand up for yourself. Lachey yelled. Nah. That's my best friend, Sonata. I got you back on this one, boo. She, Ashley, and Aunt Tammy slapped high fives with Marcy. Adele. Pretty girls learn to work it early. It has been a long time since I had a roommate and it was gonna be hard adjusting, especially when she is 2 classes behind me. I have all her info and realized that she was also from Greer, South Carolina. I just hope she is not as rowdy as her friend Lossie, who is my cousin, yet we only see or talk as at a family member's funeral, and then it's only speaking and moving on, but I do see her a lot. People in our town stay dying. My boyfriend, Stavros, is a factor in my life. Stav is 21 years old. He is not a student here, as he works in his dad's detail shop, but when he is not working, and I am not in class, we are always together. But we had to be clever and sneaky for him to stay overnight at times. He is a permanent fixture in my dorm room, and my heart. I hope this Sonata chick does not try to come between us. My last roommate, a chick named Juana, was a nosy trick who loved to run to the teacher after school and report everything she sees Mr. Sorrell, but whatever she told, Mr. Sorrell showed up out of nowhere suspending me and my 2 girls, Sharelle Dura and Kelly Cross, for 2 days. Why? He said we were cheating on a test. Which we were, but damn. When Sonata first came on campus to move in, I was like, yeah. She is gonna be a great roommate. Oh. Stavros doesn't count, he only stays over a few nights. She was a short, pretty girl. If she tried, she could turn many of these guys' head. But I could take her under my wing and make her a fourth of my circle of girls, especially since she was from Greer, South Carolina. The country's area, I might add, so it explains just that when she introduced me to her Aunt Tammy. Tammy should not even be allowed to live within the city limits. She was loud as hell and didn't bite her tongue at all. This is my niece, and she is here to get an education, and since you are older, you are gonna make sure she is safe from these guys on this campus. And don't be having your lil handmaidens here, she said directly to Sharelle while walking up on Kelly, pulling Kelly's shirt, which was twisted to fit in order to show off her belly ring. You gonna either get raped walking around like you advertising you goodies, or either catch gangrene and die from that belly ring. Anyway, anything happens to my niece, I'm gonna jack all 3 of y'all up. We were between torture and laughter. Something told me she meant every word she said. It showed me something else. Sonata was a cry-baby, Marcy said. Y'all pay no attention to my mom. She didn't mean it. Aunt Tammy interjected. Yes, I did. Lachey says, what's up, cuz? She set down a suitcase down. Sonata. This is my cousin Adele. Adele, this is Sonata and our girl Ashley. Oh. I blew a sigh of relief. Sonata was gonna be cool. She is just acting like a choir girl for her Aunt Tammy. Boy, was I wrong. Sonata. I don't hold my liquor very well. I have been here 2 weeks and everything had been going well. That is until I started hanging out with Adele and her girls. Hurry up, Sonata. We are gonna be late. Adele yelled. Yeah, the guys are gonna be pissed if we come late. They go on in 30 minutes and it's a 15-minute drive. Cheryl's snooty hoe ass added. I had put my long hair into a tight bun and Kelly had did my makeup. I was wearing an outfit that Adele insisted on lending me. It was a silver and black mini dress that fit perfectly. After she made me stuff my bra with some breast enhance pads, I looked great but felt lost. I am a toy boy, strictly jeans and sneakers. I mean, I have had boyfriends, but my hometown boys were different from the ones on this campus here. If you don't look like a knockoff actress or singer, they snub you. But the way I look tonight, I am gonna snag a man. But his ass won't be under me 24/7. By this I mean the way Stavros is always underfoot in this damn dorm. But hey, if Adele likes it, I love it. But something about it I don't like is waking up to walk into the bathroom and seeing that he has spent the night, and that type of mess could get both of us kicked out. I walked downstairs and the three gasped. Dang, lil sis. You look good. Adele marveled. Yeah, come on, Cinderella. Let's get to the ball. Kelly yelled. Cherelle only smiled. A smile that was faker than she was. Stav and a few of his guys are having drinks at the club. Bruz, his friend, Darren's dad, owns it. Adele said. Wow. Every guy you chicks deal with have money. You girls would be great working at this club called Mary's Place in Greer. I laughed. Girl, my cousin Sonia works there. Ballers aplenty. Cherelle marveled. Yeah, it is usually packed. I agreed. Listen, Sonata, you are only 17, so my guy is wanting you to not drink. But if you are going to, here, use this, Kelly said, handing me a VIP card. It is an extra one we used to sneak youngsters in. She laughed. We pulled up at this bar called Bruz. None of these guys were in college, let alone a fraternity. So it was a questionable situation. Have to admit there were some good-looking guys here. Here comes Marvin with his handsome self. Cherelle, girl, why won't you give him the chance he is coming over here to ask for? Again? Adele laughed. What's up? Y'all heading to VI? Who is your friend? Marvin asked, looking at me. This is Sonata, Adele's new dorm mate. Cherelle offered him a glaring stare. Hey, Sonata. I am Marvin. Come on up here, he said, taking my hand. I saw Cherelle grab his other hand. He looked surprised yet smiled at me. Come on, so this pretty one can tell me a bit about herself. Cherelle glared. I smirked. I think I may have just found a reason to stick around, because it is time for me to break out of a shell I have lived in too long. Marvin, like quicksand. Adele, Kelly, and Cherelle were fine as hell, but the chick with them was simply pretty. And I liked that a lot. She was a cross between Raven Simone and Lela Rashawn. Undiscovered beauty is what was in for me, and that is what Cherelle used to be up until the end of last semester. She spent 2 weeks in Greer, South Carolina with her cousin Sonia, and when she came back she was a totally different person, and not for the better. She had met some dude over those 2 weeks, and ever since then she has been laced and paid. Which I knew she wasn't. Didn't take long to find out she was being a side chick to a dude who looked like a knockoff Billy D. Williams. I won't even lie. I was hurt but grew to see it as a sign, one that let me know where her heart and mind was, so I let my interest in her wane. Until it was gone. And not wanting anything serious, I think I can hang with Sonata. She was still a teenager, so she couldn't be in a serious relationship that meant fun and no strings. Now Cherelle begins acting as if she and I have some type of bond. Hey, Marvin. I got a new phone but contacts be updating. Is your number still the same? Cherelle sang. Yeah. Adele or Kelly can give it to you. I smiled, letting Sonata know Cherelle wasn't that relevant to me. Sonata. How do you like being away from home for the first time? I asked as we climbed the steps to the VIP. She said over the loud music we were approaching, so far it's cool. Adulthood at last mixed in with a touch of homesick. Cheryl snorted. Homesick ain't even the word. Adele said you call your mom 3 times a day. Well, Adele got it wrong. My mom is deceased. You met my Aunt Tammy. She raised me after my dad murdered my mom, and it is Aunt Tammy who calls me. Sonata sneered, as Adele glared at Cheryl for putting her name in the convo. We entered VIP and Adele called out to Stavros. He walked over and was taken aback at me with my arm around Sonata. Sinatra. You look like an adult instead of little school girl. Stavros slurred. My name is Sonata. Not Sinatra. Sonata glared. I guess Stav saw the glare also and turned his attention to his girl Adele. We took our seats and I asked Sonata what would she like to drink, and she told me that she didn't drink, which was cool with me, but she said, I will try something smooth. Yeah, she is more like a friend of Mary Jane. Adele added. I told her time and time again about that mess. If Coach Dura smells that scent on me, I am off the track team. Sonata blushed. Dang, you be smoking weed. Damn, you surprise me. I laughed, further irritating Cheryl. Kelly laughed and went to the bar to get a round of drinks for everyone. Adele told Sonata. Not putting you on Front Street, but you do need to chill with the smoking though. That shit get anywhere near me. My ass is out of school. Scholarship and all. And phew, you don't want that. Sonata smiled. I gotcha. I know how it is with the scholarship. I will not let you get caught up. Cheryl asked, what you know about scholarships? Your education is paid in full. True, said Sonata, but if my grades don't stay high then I fail too. So if you mean by the money I got from my mom's insurance claim after her death? Well, is your dad not also a source of income? I mean, being that he killed and burned her body, you get double indemnity. Adele spoke up. Rel, nobody needs to know Nada's business. The look on Sonata's face confirmed to me that it had been Adele who had shared the death of her mom, and lockup of Nada's crazy-ass daddy, and the fact he was crazy. I am sure he was no longer her life, but crazy could run on not only her dad's side. From stories I heard about her Aunt Tammy, it could run on both sides and Nada ass could be next in line to get crazy on somebody. But after a few drinks, Nada loosened up and the rest of the night was going smooth, until an ex of mine, Che, came over. And Cheryl started to claim something she had never wanted before. Me. Che. Don't you see we are chilling among ourselves? How you gonna walk up in mixed company? Without an invitation? Girl. Please. Oh hey Sonata. Che chimed. Sonata replied with a genuine smile. Hey cuz. I was wondering when I was gonna run into you. How's married life? You tell me. Che exclaimed, patting her now noticing for the first time. A baby bump. Wow, congrats. Only Sonata and myself chimed. Everyone else ignored the three of us. Well, I gotta run. Che said. Nada got up to embrace Che, yet only I said goodbye. Cheryl sat thinking of ways she could question Nada about her kinship with Che. Too bad Sonata was now drunk as hell. Bested only by Kelly who was in the bathroom puking. I found myself really bonding with Sonata. She was way cool. At least for now, but my mind and thoughts of her would soon take a big and negative downward spiral. It's one thing to be a young female away from home for the first time. But it's much worse when that female talks too damn much. Adele. So I told Cheryl and Kelly Sonata's business, but only so they wouldn't ask why she lived with her Aunt Tammy. But I guess Cheryl was salty about Marvin turning his attention towards Sonata. But I also noticed Stavros's friend Rob was also trying to talk to Sonata, but that was not gonna happen. Not on my watch. Rob was married with 3 kids in addition to 2 outside kids who his wife, Renata, pretends not to have any knowledge of. But my thing was Stavros knew and encouraged Rob to talk to Sonata. When Cheryl got on the Cupid vibe shooting arrows from Rob to Sonata. Cheryl is fake as hill. Rob, how is Nada and the kids? I asked, hoping Sonata's drunk ass would catch a sobering hint. She didn't. My kids are just fine. And the only Nada on my mind is this little pretty Nada, he said, pulling Sonata onto his lap. Kelly rolled her eyes at Rob. She has one time been a link in his chain of fools, until Renata showed up on campus ready to kick ass and take names. Still, she didn't even find out it was Kelly. Girl power is a beautiful thing. Although low-key, I wish it had been Cheryl, but everyone knows Cheryl dated Cash. Literally. If you got 40 acres and a mule, Cheryl wanted to ride that mule and get that cash. Her hero was her older cousin Sonia, who is a featured hoe at the establishment. Aunt Tammy and Marcy spoke of Mary's place. Cheryl, however, felt she was smarter. She cut out the middle madam and got all the cash her sugar daddy of the moment had given her. I told Stavros I was going to the ladies' room and trusted him to keep an eye on Sonata and Rob. I went into the restroom. I was going into the stall when I heard a mobile phone ringing. It was Sonata's, and she had 10 missed calls from her Aunt Tammy. I didn't dare text back. I put it in my pocket and went into the stall to relieve my overfilled bladder. I finished, washed my hands. I went back to the table to find Sonata and Rob gone. "Where is Sonata?" I asked. "She got sick? Rob took her home." Marvin spat. "Stavros, I told your ass to watch her." "Damn Adele, I am not her keeper. I'm glad she is gone. She talks too damn much when she drinks. So now, you Cheryl and Kelly gotta go." She blurted to Ken, the security guy, that none of you are 25. What in the hell? Why was Ken even talking to her? When she went to get another Long Island iced tea, he was trying to holla. She blurted out her whole damn business. I was kissed. Cheryl was all in her feelings. Kelly was too drunk to know anything. "Come on," I sighed. Stavros looked at me as if I had a tail. "Y'all go on. I'm legal. I told you not to bring her ass. Now look." I was so damn livid, but it was almost 2 a.m. and I needed to get back on campus. I should have gone home this weekend. Sonata could dry up a damn wet dream. Can't wait until winter break. Because that is what I needed. A break. "Sonata, how long you been married?" I asked Rob. He sighed. "Too damn long." "You got a man back home?" I said. "Not anymore. He died on the basketball court 2 years ago, Zach Robinson. Heart attack." I whispered. Rob asked, "Drugs?" I was beyond offended. No. He had congestive heart failure. He didn't use drugs. He was in his senior year at Greer High. "Wow. I am sorry to hear that. So you are single, huh?" he asked. I laughed. "Single and ready to mingle. Well, I would like to get to know you better. But I am married. Can't have you messing up my home situation. That is already messed up. You stay on hush mode and I will take good care of you and that body. What time you gotta be back on campus?" "Well, unlike Adele and them, I am supposed to be home this weekend, so I'm good." "Why?" I raised my eyebrow. "Wanna go to one of my rental properties I just put on display. It's not far and I don't bite." "Sure. But I think I may get sick from all that alcohol and things are spinning." He smiled, opened his glove compartment, and took out an ounce of weed. "Well, be a good girl and it's yours." He cranked the car and drove to the section of town called Baldwin Green. We pulled up in the yard, and the small little house captured my heart. "You like?" he asked. "Yes. Gorgeous," I said as we entered the fully furnished house. I knew that this was not a rental. This is his house to do whatever he wanted without his wife knowing. I was offended. He began rolling a fat blunt. "I am not even mad anymore. Time to puff puff and give." Dang. Adele wasn't teasing. "Yo ass can smoke some weed," Rob said. "It's escape. I wish I was back home. I don't like none of them bitches. Except for Kelly. And that's because she could beat my ass. I think there is nothing more unreal than a pretty girl who can fight." I chuckled. "Yeah, her fine ass can fight. Adele can too. Not so much Cheryl. I remember one day she got that ass beat by this chick named Andrea. Little bitty pretty girl, who whipped Cheryl like she was her daddy. I would have loved to see that. So tell me about your wife." "She is my wife. Next question. And skip asking about my kids. That is my obligation. Well, you could be for relaxation, but you gotta be up on your baseball jargon. You gotta be my shortstop." "Shortstop?" "Yeah, play your position, and we will be good. No asking about my wife or kids." "What about your other kids' moms? Are they sacred too?" "Yep. And no blabbing to anyone about anything concerning me, you or us. Now, come here." "Shortstop." He didn't have to tell me twice. I am not by any means a virgin, but Rob? Wow. He did things I never imagined. I was his. Too bad, and too soon would I realize. It was not even close to mutual. Adele. It is 4:45 a.m. and Sonata is just now stumbling into our dorm room. Literally stumbling, staggering and smelling like a mixture of expensive cologne, cheap wine, and loud-ass marijuana. "Sonata,